A very good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to class 12th, Economics. And today we are now starting a new unit of Indian economic development. Now, how it is the new unit? Let me tell you that first of all. The very first unit of IED is Indian economy on the eve of independence, which we have covered. The second is the economic planning and the economic situation till 1990, which means mainly which is the period of 1950 to 1990. The third we have covered is economic reforms since 1991, which means what reforms India faced or India adopted in 1991. Reforms means we mean to say about changes, that what changes India got in 1991. Now the fourth unit we have started from this book, and the fourth unit is current challenges facing Indian economy. Like even after the reforms, what changes, what current challenges we are still facing, what major problems we are still facing in India even after the economic reforms 1991, even after opening up of our economy, even after LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So, what things we are still facing is the current challenges. And in our course, we have 6 chapters or 6 major current challenges that we have to study. You know, these current challenges which are being faced by Indian economy these days too include 6 chapters in IED, and these 6 chapters will come for 22 marks in your exam, in your board exam, which means now we are going to start the 22 marks syllabus of your IED in boards. And there the first chapter is poverty. Now poverty, we are already aware of this term because you people are studying this concept from class 8 9, that what is poverty we all are aware of. But actually in the class 11th, sorry, in the class 12th, you have to study the detailed scenario of poverty, in which we will be studying the pattern of poverty in India, the trend of poverty in India, and also what steps have been taken by the government to eradicate this problem, and how we are prepared to deal with this current challenge in India. This we have to study in class 12th economics IED chapter poverty. Let's start. Now, first of all, definitely you should know the meaning of poverty, which you must be aware of already, that poverty is actually a situation where a person is not able to fulfill the basic necessities of life. Which means if a person is not able to fulfill the basic necessities, and basic necessities we are already aware of, that what are the basic necessities? The basic necessities to life, such as food, shelter, clothing, basic education, and a basic health care. If a person is not able to get all these basic needs, he would be termed as a poor. I hope I'm clear. If a person is not able to get the basic necessities of life like food, water, shelter, clothing, basic education, or healthcare, he would be definitely termed as a poor. So poverty is a situation when a person when an individual is unable to fulfill his basic desires. Now, see this slide. The section of society that are vulnerable to poverty in urban areas. Let us see that who people are urban poors. Urban areas, we already know, Sheher. We are talking about the urban areas, and then we will talk about the rural area. So in urban areas, how many people or what kind of people are there who are below poverty line, or we'll say that who are poor people in urban areas, or those who would be the urban poor. Generally it is being observed. देखो ये ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसा ही होगा कि अगर यहाँ पे एक फूल वाला दिख रहा है तो फ्लावर सेलर जो है वो पुअर ही होगा. ये कोई हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं है, बट जनरली इट इज ऑब्जर्व्ड that push cart vendors, cobblers, flower sellers, street vendors, rag pickers, and beggars, they are considered to be poor in urban areas. Generally in urban areas it is observed that these people are considered as an urban poor. इनको हम लोग urban poor बोलते हैं. Push cart vendors, that can be the vegetable seller or fruit seller or any other push cart vendor. Then cobblers, flower sellers, street vendors, rag pickers, beggars, definitely they would be termed as a urban poor because they people are basically found in urban areas below poverty line, which I will let you know that what is poverty line. Now let us talk about the section of society that are vulnerable to poverty in rural areas. Means which people are rural poor. Rural poor means those who are residing in rural area and they are considered as poor. The first you can say is landless laborers. There are many tillers of the soil और there are many landless laborers जो लेबर का काम करते हैं बट उनके पास जमीन अपनी नहीं है. They don't have their own agricultural land. They are working on someone's other agricultural land. So they are also termed as poor in rural areas. Then marginal and small farmers. There are some small and marginal farmers, those who are cultivating a very small piece of land or those who own a very very small piece of land and they are earning their living hardly. So they are also termed as rural poor because they are residing in rural area. They are considered as rural poor. Then village artisans. Village में बहुत सारे artists भी होते हैं. Those who are engaged in small scale industries. But वो small scale industry नाम की होती है, small scale industry. But they are doing a very small kind of work, small piece of work they are doing. No doubt they are artists, but they are doing a very small piece of handicraft. They are also termed as rural poor. So I hope I am clear with this. First of all, what is poverty? We'll simply say that poverty refers to a situation where where an individual is not able to fulfill all his basic needs. And now what will be the urban poors? The one who is residing in urban area and found to be poor, which I have already told you that who are urban poor. These are the urban poors. Push cart vendors, cobblers, flower sellers, street vendors, rack pickers, beggars, that all you can include in the even definition of poverty. Then these are the rural poor, where we have landless laborers, marginal and small farmers, village artisans. These all are the rural poor. Now, the very much next question arises that what are the characteristics of poor people or what are the features of poor people, which means what you will be finding out in the poor people, what will be their features. The features are very simple, that they live in huts. Some of them do not have any shelter, right? Because poor people live in huts. So one feature you can just write down, that they live in huts, and even some of them have no shelter at all. And even in villages we find that they people are landless, or they people live in slum areas. Even in urban areas also they live in slum areas, and some of them have small pieces of land. Maybe some of them have some, but they may have them small pieces of land only. Then they do not get sufficient food. Starvation is the common among them. They have a common feature that they face this starvation problem because they don't get the nutritious food also. Somewhere the people face the starvation problem because of not getting the sufficient food. And even the children suffer from malnutrition because they do not get the proper nutritious food. Even they don't get the 2 meals a day properly. Some of the time they don't even get the 2 meals a day to eat. And definitely they people suffer from malnutrition, and they get captured to a lot of diseases very easily because their body is not getting the proper food or nutritious food. Proper nutrition doesn't go into their body, so they catch the diseases very often. If you think of that Mumbai ki Dharavi, सुना है ना, बहुत ज्यादा पीछे फेमस हुआ था धारावी ऑफ मुंबई. दैट इज होल स्लम एरिया. वो पूरा स्लम एरिया था because people in Dharavi had a lot of people had very low immunity due to the less nutritious food they were getting. As a result, many people were found corona positive. पूरी धारावी के अंदर almost 80 to 90% people were COVID-19 positive. Now the people have recovered, but they were positive because of their body didn't have the nutritious food, and it could get very easily captured to any of the disease which is there in the society. Then they are uneducated and unskilled. They people are uneducated and they are unskilled. Of course, a person who is not having a 2 meals a day proper food, you expect that they would be going to the schools and they would be studying there? Definitely they would not be studying. If a person is not getting, पहली priority तो हमारी food है ना. The second priority is something else, जो हमारी education है या जो कुछ और है. पहली priority तो हमारी basic necessities में food रहेगा. So if you are not able to get the 2 meals a day even food, do you think that you will be going to the schools and studying there? Not at all. So they people are uneducated and they are unskilled because they are not getting these skills because they are not doing any work. Because for getting the skills also they have to do a little bit of investment. They don't have money, in fact, to invest any on the even on the education or anywhere else. So they are unskilled. So it is difficult to get employment because they are unskilled. They don't know how to work. They don't even know how to read something because they are illiterate, they are uneducated, so they do not get the employment easily, right? Then many of them suffer from diseases because the health condition is poor because of the nutritious food they are not eating. They do not get safe drinking water and sanitation facilities also. I was just reading this in an interview of a person living in Dharavi and a policeman who was on duty those days in Dharavi. He was telling that Dharavi ke andar slum, because that is all slum in Mumbai and one of the biggest slum in Asia. पूरे एशिया का सबसे लार्जेस्ट स्लम है धारावी जो मुंबई में है. तो अल्टीमेटली उसमें ये देखा, हाँ यस नमन यू आर राइट. सो उसमें इंटरव्यू में उसने बताया कि इतना बड़ा वो स्लम है कि उनके अंदर उनके लिए सैनिटेशन फैसिलिटीज भी पूरी नहीं है. उधर सैनिटेशन फैसिलिटीज भी नहीं है. पीपल हैज टू यूज द कॉमन वॉशरूम. A lot of people have to use the common washroom in Dharavi. So definitely they people have lack of safe drinking water. Lack of safe drinking water, that they don't get proper safe drinking water. And even the sanitation facilities are very poor in village areas, or even we can say the people who are poor, they don't have the proper sanitation facilities also. And due to that only they get attracted to a lot of diseases as well. The children do not get education. We all are aware of this. I already told you that the children do not get education at all. Then they borrow money from money lenders and fall into the debt trap. A very good feature of the poor people. They borrow money from the money lenders. What they do for getting money, they have to be dependent on the money lenders only by promising them that they would be paying in a shorter span of time or in future. And for that they pay a lot of interest also. And ultimately hota kya, for paying off one loan they have to take the another loan and pay. So ultimately we observe that they people, the poor people, get themselves into debt trapped. वो debt trap हो जाते हैं and they have to pay previous loan by taking one more loan from the other person and they become debt trapped. Gender inequality prevails among them. Women are the poorest among the poor. It is observed that in the poor people, it is observed that gender inequality also prevails because they feel that if there would be a boy, he would be going outside to earn something in such a way that they people have larger families also. Yes, they people have larger families in spite of that they people are poor, they cannot afford to have a lot of children, but still they people have poor families, they people have big families, so that if many children will be there, then they'll be going out for earning of some money and they will be above the poverty line. They think of this thing. So ultimately they people are more into favor of boys and they get into the gender inequality also, so it prevails among them. Now, I hope this is clear till now. 3-4 slides, 3-4 topics that we have covered. I hope that is clear. So now the next is measures of poverty. Measures of poverty. There are two types of poverty: absolute poverty and relative poverty. And let me tell you that this is the most important question. Maybe you'll be getting this question in boards. Definitely this is the most important question. So first is absolute poverty and the other one is relative poverty. Let's see what is the absolute poverty. It refers to inability to secure basic necessities of life such as food, shelter, clothing, basic education and healthcare. Which means when we are saying a person is absolute poor, when we are saying a person is absolute poor, then we'll simply say that the total number of people living below poverty line is known as absolute poverty, which means we are not comparing them with anyone. Suppose if I said that Mr. A is poor, which means I have not compared Mr. A with B or Mr. A with C or Mr. A with anybody. I have just told that Mr. A is poor. I have just told Mr. A is poor. That is known as absolute poverty, which means the person who is not able to get the basic necessities, the poor person is simply absolute poor. He would be termed as absolute poor. But what about the relative poverty? When we say what is relative poverty, we explain the poverty of people in comparison to another person. For example, if I say Mr. A is poorer than Mr. B, then it would be termed as relative poverty. Or India is a poor country than America, then it is called as relative poverty, right? Same way, West Bengal is a poor state than suppose Bihar is the poor state than West Bengal. This is a relative poverty. So in relative poverty, we will be explaining the state of poverty in comparison to other thing. That other thing can be in comparison to person, or can be place to place, or can be country to country. That is known as relative poverty. But when we say what is absolute poverty is very simple. So absolute poverty is simply the poverty which in which we are saying that a person is not able to get the basic necessities completed. That is known as absolute poverty. For example, in relative poverty, a teacher is poor in comparison to a big businessman. Very, very true. दुखती रखते हाथ तक दिया इस point ने. So a teacher is poor in comparison to a big businessman. A casual worker is poor in comparison to a teacher. India is poor in comparison to USA, right? Or Somalia is poor in comparison to India. Which means relative poverty is the state of poverty in which we are comparing, we are comparing the two persons, we are comparing the two places, or even we are comparing the two countries. That is known as relative poverty. I hope this is clear. Please tell me if it is clear. So we have covered that who are poor people. who are urban poor and who are rural poor. Then we have studied the common characteristics of poor people, the common characteristics of poor people or the features of poor people. Then we have covered the two measures of poverty, relative poverty and absolute poverty. So relative poverty refers to the poverty of people in comparison to other people or state or countries, right? If I say that if Ram has lower income in comparison to Sham, then we can say that Ram is relatively poor than Sham. This is called relative poverty. इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस क्या देखो रिलेटिव पॉवर्टी की. It helps in understanding the relative position of different segment of the population because we compare it ना. So Ram is poor than Sham, तो population के अंदर पता चल गया कि Ram is poor and Sham is less poor or is richer than Ram. So this is called, we can just compare it and we can get the segment of population from the relative poverty, right? And we have same way the absolute poverty, where we say that absolute poverty refers to a situation where we clearly say that people are poor and who are not poor. Where मैं सीधा सीधा बोलूं हाँ भाई Mr. Ram is poor. I'm not comparing Mr. Ram with anybody. I'm just saying Mr. Ram is poor, right? For example, according to absolute measure, around 22% of India's population is below poverty line. This is called absolute poverty. Absolute poverty. Like 22% people are below poverty line. We are not comparing with themselves, with others. We are just writing that these people are poor people. So this is called as absolute poverty. And what will be its importance? The concept of absolute poverty is relevant for the less developed countries like India, where there is abundance of poverty. It helps to measure the number of poor people. क्योंकि रिलेटिव पॉवर्टी में जाएंगे तो एक एक करके कितने कितने लोगों का कंपेयर करोगे आप, है ना? तो इंडिया जैसे देश में जहाँ बहुत सारी पॉवर्टी है, many people are there, we simply write कि these people are poor and इतना people are not poor. That is called absolute poverty. All right. Now, can you please tell me how do we measure the poverty in India? How do we measure the poverty in India? How do we measure the poverty in India? Very good. We measure the poverty in India through poverty line. That is absolute poverty. Through poverty line. And what is poverty line? आप देख रहे हो अपनी screen पे देखो. Poverty line. Entire population is being divided into two categories. The entire population of India is being divided into two categories. People above the poverty line are happy. People below the poverty line are sad. So ultimately, the people above the poverty line are non-poor. We are not saying that they people are rich. We are not saying that they people are rich. We are saying these are non-poor. And people below the poverty line are poor. They are considered as poor. So ultimately, poverty line is a concept of measuring the poverty in India, where the people who are above the poverty line, they would be just termed as a non-poor people, not rich people, but non-poor people. And the people who are below the poverty line, they would be termed as poor people. I hope this is clear. Now, how to estimate a poverty line? Let's see. The minimum food required for a person is calculated in calories. That I will be telling you. I'll be just telling you in the next class that how we estimate that a person is below the poverty line or a person is above the poverty line. I will be telling you in the next class that how we estimate that a person is below the poverty line or is above the poverty line. That is the concept of the next class. Now see this slide. Dada Bhai Naroji. Now, इनका reference poverty में क्यों आया है? Let's see. He is the first person to estimate poverty line in India. One marker question. Please do mention in your notebook. He is the first person. Dadabhai Naroji is the first person to estimate poverty line in India. He used jail cost of living. He used jail cost of living. He estimated the amount of money needed for providing food to a prisoner. Mind it. he estimated the amount of money needed for providing food to a prisoner, कि अगर एक prisoner जो है, कैदी जो है जेल में रह रहा है, तो उसको अपना पेट भरने के लिए कितने पैसे की जरूरत है, उसको अपना पेट भरने के लिए कितना पैसे की जरूरत है एक दिन में, इन्होंने ये एस्टिमेट किया था और उसके बेसिस पे पॉवर्टी लाइन बनाई थी कि अगर एक पर्सन के पास इतना खर्चा, अगर वो एक पर्सन एक दिन का कर रहा है या 1 मंथ का कर रहा है, तो वो पुअर नहीं माना जाएगा, वो पॉवर्टी लाइन के ऊपर माना जाएगा। ये उन्होंने बताया हमें, दादा भाई नारोजी ने। एडजस्टमेंट्स वर मेड टू कैलकुलेट द अमाउंट नीडेड फॉर चिल्ड्रन, और कितना अमाउंट चिल्ड्रन को चाहिए उसके लिए भी इन्होंने एडजस्टमेंट वगैरह की थी, कुछ नेसेसरी एडजस्टमेंट्स इन्होंने हमें बताई थी। अब क्या थी वो एडजस्टमेंट और कैसे इन्होंने एस्टिमेट किया था पॉवर्टी? इन 1962 द प्लानिंग कमीशन सेट अप अ स्टडी ग्रुप। इन 1979 another task force on projections of minimum needs and effective consumption demand was formed. In 1989, India IND 2005 expert groups were formed. अब इसमें क्या है ये देखो, ये कुछ नहीं है, ये अल्टीमेटली इन्होंने हमें बताया है 3 पॉइंट्स में कि इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद पॉवर्टी के लिए क्या क्या किया गया। लेकिन ये वाली स्लाइड आप लीव भी कर सकते हो, बिकॉज आई विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग यू वेरियस पॉइंट्स, पॉलिसीज स्टार्टेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट फॉर इरेडिकेटिंग द पॉवर्टी, राइट? सो नाउ आई विल बी टेलिंग यू अबाउट द poverty line concept, that who would be termed as non-poor and who would be termed as poor, but that I will be explaining you in the next class. Till then I will be taking your doubts now.